NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bortles' Jaguars going up against Bortles' Jaguars.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up. And he'll bring it a few past the 20. To the 23-yard line. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And some room to maneuver. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Again, it's Fournette. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. And Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands, That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Jags taking over on offense here in a second. And what a season, Charles, it was for Jacksonville. Some people did like them as a dark horse coming into the year, and they really responded.
Heard recently at one of the, all-star games, college all-star games, a scout saying, well, heck, haven't they been the dark horse for the last 5 years coming into the season? And he seemed a little bit bitter, so I'm going to let him go on that one. But the point is well taken. They have been building towards this. Really good drafts. Really supplemented in free agency. And, yeah, they were a dark horse, but they played awfully well. 11 wins, 2 more in the playoffs. I think right now they'd love to get Allen Robinson back at wide receiver and add another playmaking tight end.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he'll 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And they'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. On first down, this is Ivory. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now they'll throw it. Bortles. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Bortles on the hook up to Hurns for the Jaguar first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually...
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Looking for Hurns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Paul Posluszny. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
From midfield, here's Bortles. Sliding out of the pocket. Brought in over the middle by Grant. Touchdown, Jaguars. Corey Grant, 50 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he
will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Corey Grant with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And it is now 21-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Able to spin free. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Starts with a feeling, and you ride it back away. Crash it so the sparks can come together. Don't need a reason. On and on and on forever. And it's a long flight on this battle star where we fight for love no matter where we are. Oh, 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 oh. And there's a big bang in this universe, and it makes me feel like the go don't work. Oh, 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 oh. You got me like ooh. You got me like you got me like and ooh, with all the things you do. Yeah, anything and everything a man can feel. Well, honey, I'm feeling with you. Baby, you're flashing, and I'm blinded by your light. I love the way you Jupiter is rising. You got me reacting like a lunatic tonight. I love the way the stars are all aligning. You got me like ooh. You got me like you got me like and ooh, with all the things you do. Yeah, anything and everything a man can feel. Well, honey, I'm feeling with you. You got me like ooh. You make me feel like the world's spinning like a satellite. You make me feel like the sun is blasting out a ray of light, ray of light. You got me like ooh. You got me like well, honey, I'm feeling with you. Girl, you got me like come on, baby. You got me like ooh. You got me like you got me like ooh. I'm feeling you. Yeah, yeah. You got me like yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me like
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Confidence is never a question when it comes to wide receivers, and these two are no different. It's Jones's Falcons going up against Brown's Steelers.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Atlanta Falcons. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second, and, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak, but if you're a Falcon fan, this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl, you were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
They go play action here on 1st down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman, looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And Bryant missed it. No good. Wide to the left there for Bryant. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And some room to work. And now running right through it. That good for 19 and a first down.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Vic Beasley from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep here for Bryant. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. On 3rd down, here's Bell. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. 9 yards on the pickup, and the Falcons are going to get a first.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
On the screen, this is Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. He's got a man complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Steps away to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
On the return, here's Justin Hardy. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Freeman again. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. Here's Coleman. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's brought down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the... Sorry, Larry. Your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Give him 30 yards there. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. They'll roll him out right. Caught here by Bell. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. 32 that time.
Looked like